Yes, honey. Give me a big old nasty hand clap, honey. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with old nasty recap, honey, of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5, episode 11. And once again, this episode had it going on, honey. Let's get down to this episode, honey. So first, honey, the episode starts out. We see our girl Karen. She is calling and inviting Ashley to Surrey County for her homecoming. And, Ashley is on the other end of the phone, honey, talking about, oh, I'm so honored. Yes, I want to go. But, girl, I got to find a babysitter. Bitch, you got money, sis. Real money, okay? You got prenup money coming, post-nuptial money coming. Ashley, you got the coins to have a babysitter. I was like, this girl better not bring baby Dean to this damn homecoming or, honey, I'm a clown and act a fool. That damn Ashley act like she on food stamps, Medicaid, welfare, Section 8. She just act like it's hard out here, honey, to get a babysitter, okay? Karen even told her, girl, I got you. If you can't work it out, I got you. I'm like, somebody help this child, okay? Ashley is still acting like she's poor. I'm like, you out of that trailer park, sis? Okay? You ain't in that tent situation with Sheila? Well, hopefully you would never, was living in no tent with your mammy. But, I know times has been hard for your family. But, girl, you and Michael got them coins. And he out here acting a damn fool. I would be out here acting a damn fool with his bank account, honey. Okay? I would be cheating. I would be just spending all his coins. I would always have a nanny. Shit, I gotta go to the bathroom. I got a nanny. I need to go to the hair salon, the beauty salon, whatever I need to do. Oh, I just want to drive down the street. I would have a damn nanny. Okay, let Michael pay for it. Okay, girl. Karen also mentioned she's going to be inviting Gizelle to join them. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be a pretty interesting trip, honey. Karen says that, she's an open book. And, that way the ladies could get up off of her when it comes to her business. They won't feel like she's being so secretive, honey. I was like, go on and let them know who you really is, Karen. Just go on and tell us, honey. Okay. So next, we see Gizelle. She calls and leaves a voicemail on Juan's phone, and it's pertaining to her giving him approval for this engagement ring that I guess she picked out for Robyn. So that's good, that proposal is gonna be coming. Hurry up, Juan. Next, honey, we see Ray and Karen. They talk about Karen participating in the homecoming parade. Then we see Ashley. She gets to Karen's house. We see Ashley in her confessional, and, she's talking about, well, it's no problem for me to come to Surrey with Karen, because, it's a manageable distance from Potomac, and I'm not too far away from my family. And I'm like, bitch, why is you thinking about Michael during this free little trip out of town for a little bit? Okay, was he thinking about you when he was going to the rooms with strippers and waking up in a bed with another woman and kissing a woman? And girl, Ashley, you claim you don't care, but sis, it looked like you do. You a little bit too pressed, honey. Why you worried about what Michael thinking? Forget him, okay? Who you need to be worried about is baby Dean. Just make sure you leave with him with somebody responsible and kind. That's who you need to worry about. In your marriage, Ashley, you only need to be focused on that baby. The hell with Michael. Michael don't look like he give a damn about you or your image, y'all image, whatever y'all trying to do, honey. Okay, so girl, Ashley also lies in her damn confessional again when she gets to saying that she believes Michael has learned a lesson, and he knows a lot is on the line, when it comes to their relationship. I'm like, at this point, y'all whole relationship is just paperwork to Michael, and he just go keep doing whatever the hell he want to do. You letting him do it, sis. Okay, so we can't even be mad at Michael no more. Ashley also tells us she put a tracker on Michael's booty. I'm like, girl, you didn't need to put no tracker on Michael's booty, okay? That motherfucker already got one, okay? Honey, the jokes write themselves, honey, okay? I believe that alone, all right? So next we see Gizelle. She comes into Karen's house, and then we see Ray. He tells Karen and the girls that, the car has arrived. And, and I'm like, goddamn, Ray, it looked like you trying to rush them up off this house. Ray is just like, girl, get on out this house. Let me go on down to the golf course and do what I need to do, honey. I think Ray just want to be in that house watching old, episodes of Sanford and Son, Family Ties, MASH. I mean, he just looked like the type, that Little House on the Prairie, those type shows. That's what you're giving me, Ray. He was ready for Karen to go, honey. Okay. So we see Karen and the girls, they get in the car, and Karen, tries to kiss Ray, and then he just ends up shutting the door on her. I'm like, what is going on with Ray and Karen? Ashley makes a joke and says, Karen, honey, I think you reached your quota on the number of kisses Ray is willing to give you, honey. I was like, Karen, don't let that man do you like that. Ray, you got a lot of damn nerve with your Sanford and Son looking ass, okay? You don't treat our girl Karen like that. She was there for you when you was going through your issues with your taxes, boo-boo. Did you forget? Okay, I see why Karen want her money back. I would want my motherfucking money back too. All right? Ray, what is wrong with you, sir? Y'all think Ray got a side piece? Is that what it is? There's something wrong with Ray, honey. He's just treating Karen all types of wrong, honey. Okay? Gizelle, her goofy butt, she ends up asking Karen, are we going to visit the Taco Bell, you used to work at? I'm like, girl, y'all is crazy. Karen ain't taking y'all to no damn Taco Bell. She going to take y'all ass to a farm, honey, okay? Is you ready? So next, honey, we got Candiace and Robyn. Robyn comes by to visit Candiace, to see how she's doing after the fight. And Robyn lets Candiace know that Monique has no remorse and has made so many excuses, honey, for her behavior. And Candiace, she begins crying, honey. Anyway, she had like this food all spread out for Robyn, honey. I'm like, oh no, not a spread, mama. I wish I could have had some of them crackers, that cheese, and that meat, honey, but that's just me. Y'all know Miss Robinson stays hungry, honey. Okay, but yeah, it really hurt Candiace that, Monique is having this type of reaction to the fight and everything. But my thing is this, and I told y'all before, I don't know why Candiace keep crying, okay? This bitch that showed you who she is, and it is what it is. Yes, it's a betrayal. Yes, it was very disrespectful what Monique did, but Candiace, honey, you can't be shocked. You know that girl ain't got no home training, honey, okay? Robyn then says she's disappointed in Karen because she feels like Karen is simply just taking up for Monique's side, when it comes to the whole issue with the fight between Candiace and Monique. Now, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like Karen is, in the middle, she's being neutral, or do you feel like she's trying to play both sides? I feel like some of both. I kind of feel like Karen is neutral, but it does sometimes seem like she's more on Monique's side. I don't know if that's because they're closer. I thought her and Candiace was closer. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, honey. It kind of looks, though, to me, Karen is more or less on Monique's side a little bit more because she knows all the other girls can't stand Monique. So it's like, well, shit, who else go really be on her side? I gotta, walk with her through this. Ashley is down for Monique as well. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it, you guys. Y'all let me know if y'all see something different. So Candiace gets to telling Robyn that when she talked to Karen about the fight, Karen said that, honey, if it were her, she would press charges. And I'm feeling like, Candiace, you need to be listening to that. You need to press charges since Monique running around town, honey, acting a fool like she ain't got no remorse, honey, okay? Because I bet you all that shit'll clear up right on in that courtroom, honey. Once they get in front of that judge and they got to keep dishing out money to the attorney, honey, oh yes, Miss Robinson would have Miss Monique Samuels, honey, saturated with paperwork. Okay, shit, you want to put your motherfucking hands up, okay, I got something for your ass. And I just feel, you guys, if maybe Monique had legal consequences for her actions, I just feel like that would just make her feel more remorseful. That would make her be like, you know what, I'm gonna stop trying to, fix problems with people with my hands. I'm gonna learn to use my big brain and talk things out the way a civil adult should. So that's what I think would happen, honey, okay? But it turns out, as of late, you guys, all these charges, have been dropped. So I guess we gonna see how this all plays out throughout the season. Robyn then asks Candiace, will she be pressing charges? And Candiace says, it's on the table. So we gonna see, like I said, how all that plays out. Candiace says that, this whole fight has been very traumatic for her and, it's caused her a lot of trauma, Then they start talking about Robyn's tax issues. Robyn, honey, it turns out, and did y'all notice how quiet Miss Robyn was when it was time to talk about them taxes, honey? She act like she didn't really see. She loved being all up in other people's business, but then when it's time to talk about her shit, she want to be quiet and kind of whispering shit. But Candiace blurted that shit on out. I thought it was so funny. I was like, yes, Candiace, give us the tea on Miss Robyn, honey. But yeah, it turns out Robyn owes $90,000 in back taxes. She says she's been doing her own damn taxes. I'm like, God damn, Robyn, you should make enough money on this show to pay somebody. Okay, you know how you are with money, sis. Okay, how many times do we need to find ourselves in these type of situations? Okay, shit, you ain't good with a calculator. So you need to go ahead and, get that handle, honey. The IRS don't play about their coins, honey, okay? And it's so funny and ironic that her and Gizelle, they made fun of Karen's tax issues. Actually, it was Ray's tax issues. Y'all remember Gizelle came out with that damn shirt and, calling Ray the broke black Bill Gates and, tax reform. I wonder, will Gizelle be making one of those shirts for her homegirl? Okay, now how you doing? Robyn also shares with Candiace that her and Juan are looking to buy a house, but now that this lien is on the line, honey, with these taxes, it puts a financial dent into her plans, and I bet they do. Okay, I know Juan is like, damn, this bitch can't keep no money, okay? She always owes somebody. She take my money and give it away and be naive with it, and, she just be doing too much. I wonder, is Juan kind of looking at her like, ooh, honey, I don't know if I want to marry you. You may be a financial liability, honey. I don't know. What y'all think about how Juan feel about this situation? It's deja vu, honey, all over again, honey. Okay, for the Dixons. So next we got Karen, Gizelle, and Ashley. They arrive in Woodland Farms in Surrey. Karen lets us know that her dad inherited the farm. We also meet Karen's aunties and her cousin, and they just simply talk about Karen's upbringing and, how she loved Michael Jackson growing up. And then one of her cousins shows Gizelle and Ashley how they, harvest the corn and stuff. I was like, look at them. Karen, really comes from a family of hustlers is what I got to say. I think she should be very proud, of her family. I noticed throughout the episode, Gizelle kept trying to make these, little subtle, shady remarks about how Karen, came from a farm and all she could see is people, got straws hanging out their clothes and, just really trying to downplay Karen. But I'm like, shit, Karen is a boss, honey, and she has a boss family, honey. You better put some respect on her family's name. That man was out there harvesting that corn, showing the ladies how he make his money, honey. Karen's family, honey, they is the business, honey, okay? So next, honey, we see that Monique, she calls Ashley while they're out, harvesting the corn and stuff. They take a break from that. And then, instantly we see Gizelle. She got an attitude. She's rolling her eyes. But anyway, Monique tells Ashley that she's been feeling drained lately and on edge. And I'm like, really? You feel drained? Really? Anyways, Karen says to Monique that she's sorry, about what happened between her and Candiace. And, you could just tell that Ashley and Gizelle are not the people that she wanted to bring with her to her homecoming. She wanted to bring her girls, Candiace and Monique, because I think she's closer with them, Then, just where we may start to feel just a little bit bad for Monique, okay? Just a little bit, Monique then blurts out, if it wasn't me, it would have been somebody else. And she's talking about Candiace. And I guess she's trying to say that, if it wasn't her that whooped Candiace's ass, somebody would have whooped Candiace's ass because, she got a mouth on her. Okay. That's what I made out of what Monique was trying to say, honey. And Monique, you just keep talking shit. And I'm going to need you to just shut up. Shut it on up, girl. Okay. Things are not looking too good for you, sis. And I'm going to just need you to stand in it and own it. Okay. Gizelle, honey, she is disgusted by what Monique says and, she rolls her eyes and walks off. I don't blame Gizelle. And, Gizelle ends up mumbling under her breath, honey, just dumb and filled with lies. And I said, yes, ma'am. That's what she is. And that's what she's doing. That's all that girl been doing, you guys. And it's a cold day in hell when I believe Gizelle, but Gizelle ain't tell no lies, okay? That girl is just going around lying like a mug. I done caught this girl in another lie in another interview. Y'all go hear it, but honey, that is for another day. Gizelle then tells Karen and Ashley, Candiace should have pressed charges that night on Monique. And I'm like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Give Gizelle, honey, a big old nasty hand clap, honey, because she needs them charges pressed against her. That way she can have some remorse for what she did, honey, okay? Because she was still acting cocky and arrogant, and it's just like, just shut up, and it's like, will the real Monique please stand up? 1 minute you remorseful. Well, I take that back. You said you're not. But you feel embarrassed, but you made a mistake. You shouldn't have flipped her hair, but it's just back and forth and back. It's just too much, and it's just like, Monique, just be quiet, girl. But yeah, I agree with Gizelle, because you got to go legally, you got to move the legal way, I should say, with some people, honey, because they just have not learned their lesson. Karen also admits that she has talked to Candiace, and she said that, if it were me, I would have, pressed charges. Now, isn't that interesting? But Karen is both Monique and Candiace's friend. So Ashley says to Karen, well, did you have this conversation with Monique? Does she feel that, how does she feel about what you told Candiace about how you would press charges, honey? Okay. And Karen then says that, she believes she has. That means no. What the hell you mean you believe, honey? You did. But anyways, Karen says, you know what? Fret not. I will have a conversation with her and let her know that, that's what I would do if I was in the situation, honey. I'm like, you better tell your friend. And sometimes even if you somebody's friend, you gotta tell them when they're wrong. I think that Karen is trying to be supportive, trying to have the girls back, and that's fine, because she needs somebody, you guys, on this show, because the rest of these women don't see it from Monique no more, and I don't blame them, okay? I myself was trying to give old Monique a little olive branch, honey, but I can't, Miss Monique. You keep doing all this lying and you just flipping the damn story around 20 times, and just tell the truth once, honey. That's all we need to hear, just the truth just one time, okay? But yeah, I think that Karen needs to be more upfront with Monique. Like, girl, don't be bragging about this, and don't, even that little comment she made, what was that, last episode, about her, I'm gonna tell her don't provoke people, and no, don't. I wouldn't even let her get away with saying that. Let her know you wrong, and you could go to jail for this. You could be away from your kids and husband. Put some perspective into her life. So next we see this scene with Wendy. She's speaking on a I Am Her panel, and she's basically speaks about creating and curating a space for minorities so that they can speak for themselves. I'm like, yes, Wendy, yes, power to the people, honey. I love everything she was saying on the panel about, helping, black people and other minorities. So, honey, I am all for it. So next, honey, we see Wendy. She meets up with her big sister, Ivy. Her big sister is very pretty. She's a doctor as well. Wendy basically discusses with Ivy her dilemma with being a professor. And, she's ready to quit her job and just be a political commentator full time, I believe. And she tells Ivy, I'm still scared to talk to mom about this. And, she lets us know that it's a big deal in the Nigerian community to have two daughters that are both doctors. And I'm like, girl, that's a big deal, period, in the black community, honey. How you doing? Okay. Her and her sister, they end up, role playing the whole situation. Her sister was acting like her mother. Wendy was herself. And basically, Ivy reassures Wendy that you're going to be fine. Just let mom know, how you're feeling and where you're coming from. And Wendy, at the end of the day, you have to live the life you want to live. I know personally for me, I was told to not have a podcast and not do some of the things that I'm doing, to just focus on my job. And I'm thinking if I would have listened to that information from my mother, I would be limited and I wouldn't feel as creative, as I am now. So I wouldn't be doing a lot of the things that I'm doing. So you can't listen to people just because they are your parents. Only you can decide and determine, your goals in life, the career that you want to pursue. You have to choose those things. You can't rely on your parents. So you may love them and respect them, but honey, you gotta pave your own way. Your kids gotta look up to you. And, you've already pleased your mother. Shit, you got the damn degree. And honey, you remind us every episode, honey, how many degrees you got, Miss Wendy. So yeah, I would just let mama know what time it is. Make sure you in that wheel still, honey, because y'all know they like to act fool with that, honey. Okay, make sure you still getting some coin from mama, all right? But yeah, I think your mother, she may hit you, but you'll be all right. But you got to do you, Wendy, okay? So next, honey, we see Juan. He is out at a bar and he is joined by Robyn, honey, who tonight is playing her alter ego, Tatiana. And I thought it was very cute. Robyn looked really cute with that long black hair. Her and Juan, they look adorable together. Their relationship is a little iffy. It's a little iffy, but they both still in it. So that's all that matters, I guess. They flirt with each other. I really enjoyed, seeing them in a social atmosphere, just, flirting with each other, kissing each each other, enjoying a nice date night. Because, we don't see Juan a lot. Juan, your ass is always at work, sir. Okay? Robyn begins talking to Juan about, her tax issue and how she's going to get that handled. All she has to do is submit some paperwork. And, he was supportive of that. So that was cool. I love their little date night. Next, honey, we are at Karen's homecoming, and, she's riding in the back of a car. Literally, she looks sharp. I love her pantsuit she had on, loved her hair. We see Gizelle and Ashley. They are there on the sidelines, honey, supporting her. Karen was like, y'all not getting up in this car with me, honey. Okay, we see Karen, she is kissing babies, waving at people, honey, taking pictures with folks. Then we also see Gizelle and Ashley. They began talking about Karen and Ray's dynamics, and their relationship, and how Karen is a completely different person than how she was, when she once got with Ray. So, yeah, in life, we all change, and we evolve, we grow, and that's what Karen was supposed to do. I think for Ray to think that she's supposed to be the same woman she's always been, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like that's disrespectful and that's selfish. You can't want that person to be the way you want them to be. They got to be into their best selves, Karen got to live her best life, honey. And to me, honey, this is just me looking at it, Karen. If his Grady off Sanford and Son ass don't get it together, I would kick him to the curb, okay? Because you could be getting that back bang out, honey, by a nice 30 or 40-year-old. Go for the 40, yeah. Or 30 if you're feeling a little freaky, honey. Okay, that'll work too, honey. But yeah, I wouldn't be listening to old Ray. I'd be getting his ass to sign some agreements. Look, I would be taking a page out of Ashley's book, honey, okay? And get to writing up some more shit to throw... to throw into the life insurance policy, honey. Okay, because at this point, Karen, Ray can go. I don't feel like you need him anymore, honey. If he's not trying to cooperate and get with the program, okay, if he ain't trying to support you being the best woman that you can be, honey, it may be time to leave that fool alone, honey, okay? But see if you could kind of work it out where you stay married and, get that policy. All right, you got to get them coins, honey. But yeah, shit, you ain't got to keep dealing with Ray's old, tired, bitter ass, honey. Ashley also lets us know that, stuff is different in her relationship with Michael. And, she ain't the same woman she used to be, honey. Okay, she trying to get her coins, too. And Ashley, though, you another one. If I was you, though, to me, your relationship a lot different than Karen's, okay? Because I still feel like there is some respect in Karen and Ray's relationship where I don't feel like there's really none in yours. So I wouldn't be comparing quite yet. Yeah, you are different. Okay, it looked like because you came a mother, you think about that coin a little bit more. So that is, an admirable quality. But you still have a train wreck of a marriage. You need to get out, sis. Okay, you had the one baby. All right, now you having another one. I would get rid of Michael, okay, and get to them coins and go and get me a finer, more chocolatey man, honey, but that's just me, okay? Don't y'all see Ashley with some chocolate? I would need some chocolate, honey. Ooh, I'm thinking Daniel off Insecure, honey. Ooh, what's his real name? Yolande Noel. Ooh, damn, he fine. Ooh, child. Whew, let's move on, honey. Miss Robinson getting a little too excited. All right. Next, honey, we see Karen, Gizelle, and Ashley. They visit a church that's nearby, and it's near and dear to Karen's family. And also, Karen lets us know that her parents are buried in the area where the church is. So I was like, oh, okay. It's very emotional for Karen. And, she just talks about how much the church means to her and her family and how she had a lot of realizations, at the church. And, she begins to, get emotional. We see Gizelle, she hugs her and says she's proud of Karen for, just coming to deal with everything. And, she knows that this is a place where Karen would be with her family. And, her parents have passed on. And, it was just a lot for Karen to deal with. I was glad that Gizelle could actually be a friend in that moment. But Gizelle, you just need to work on being a better friend all around. And stop hating on Karen. The same support and love you give to Robyn, give it to Karen. But to me, Gizelle, to me, you guys, she just act like, I don't know. It seemed like there's a respect for Karen, but it's always this, I need to put her down and she's not as big. What was she saying in the episode? She's really not as big as she, thinks she is. She's the grand dame. And Karen has some humble beginnings, like we all do, but she's worked her way up and be proud of who she is now. I got the grand dame and all of that crap. What was that, first season? And I swear, after that first season, I don't know about y'all, Karen became very likable to me. Second and third season, she began growing on me, and I like Karen. And they need Karen on this show. So Karen ends up going to another room and she breaks down about how much she misses her family. And, one of her family members went in there with her. And, then she comes out and she's calm and she just tells the ladies that, it's time for them to head home and grab some food on their way. So that's pretty much what happened with that. Next, we see Candiace and her mom. They visit like this dog kennel and she's looking for a new dog for her and Chris, but she wants like a medium-sized dog. Chris wants a large dog, honey, okay? So, she stumbles upon this dog named Mowgli, and you guys, I'm not even a dog person like that, but Mowgli was so damn cute. I was like, look at that doggy. Will you? Y'all see how I am with dogs and babies, and that's how my voice changes and everything, honey, okay? So Candiace begins telling her mom that, because of the situation with Monique and the fight, it's been very stressful. So that's why she's been going back to therapy. And then Candiace's mom says, what grown woman fights like that in the streets? Like she act like she was out in the streets with you. I was just cracking up. That damn Dorothy was like, what is wrong? She was just disgusted, honey, with Monique. I don't blame Miss Dorothy, though. Even though Miss Dorothy is a damn mess, she was dragging Monique. Then she mentioned, and what is this she talking about? She wanted to kill you. Who says all of those things? I was like, a bitch that's mad, that's who says those things, honey. But I agree with Miss Dorothy. Miss Dorothy said, honey, we don't fight in the gutter with people. And then Candiace ends up telling her, I'm hearing from the girls that she's not remorseful. She still hasn't called me to apologize for her nasty behavior towards me. And she's spreading all these lies to the press and the blogs about the fight. And Candiace's mom was like, girl, what we waiting on, honey? It's time to lawyer up, sis, okay? Because this fool just thinks she could go around acting a fool. Ain't no consequences. And I'm like, show you right, Miss Dorothy. I agree, okay? Y'all need to lawyer up and drag that heifer to the nearest courtroom, honey, because maybe then she will show some humility, okay? Okay, so the last scene is the last scene. We see Monique and her husband. They have her pastor and his wife coming over. So the pastor ends up coming by, him and his wife, and Monique greets them. And then he begins giving, Monique some advice about how she got to where she's at now with Candiace and, some of her friendships. Monique feels written off by her fellow castmates. She lets her pastor know that. Monique also is still trying to figure out how she allows someone to push her outside of her normal behavior. And I'm like, once again, you are not taking responsibility and accountability for your actions. And I'm like, this girl, you guys, is a lost cause at this point, honey. Okay. The pastor also asked Monique to explain, her blacking out. And I think he wanted her to explain that because I think he believes that's not what happened. Okay, but Monique ends up going into it. She began saying, she felt provoked and she was at her tipping point. We see Bravo, they play back the fight and, you go drag me and, and all of that. So the pastor immediately says to Monique, well, where do we get to the point of this being a big explosion? How did this fight come about? Like, why did you react the way that you did? And once again, we hear Monique saying that, it's just not me. I'm not a hostile person. I'm like, roll the clip. That's a damn lie. Okay, you girl. You should be a lieologist, honey, okay? Because a lie don't care who tell it. You had umbrellas up to folks' necks. You offered to drag this girl last season. They played the clips of you saying you want to punch people in the face. And, they, on that last one I named, Gizelle probably deserved that. But, you have always had violent tendencies, sis, and I'm going to need you to own it, okay? And I noticed once again, Monique has a problem with not owning unclaimed parts of her persona. Remember, I talked about this in the documentary that I played for you all about the shadow effect. And I think Monique owns the fact that she's Chris Samuel's wife. She's a mom. She's Miss Not for Lazy Moms, but she does not own her violent, reckless, behavior. She doesn't really want to own that. I love all the things the pastor had to say to her, honey. He was getting her together. I was like, preach, pastor, preach, honey. And y'all know Miss Robinson don't go to church. So he was speaking a word. But he got to telling Monique that, honey, you've been in survival mode your whole life. You was bullied as a child yourself. And you always have felt like you needed, to prove yourself. And then he also mentioned you was a fighter, when I first met you. Through Chris, you was a fighter then, and I was like, wow. Now, I don't know if he meant physically, but, she had a lot, I guess, to prove to people, I guess, and he noticed that. He also mentioned that, she could be very controlling and she likes to orchestrate things. That took me back to that house she invited the girls to. She tried to control and orchestrate the whole meeting between Gizelle, Ashley, and Candiace, and she wanted to be all up and through that. And I was like, child, this pastor is speaking a word, honey, okay? Monique then begins talking about, Candiace and how she manipulates situations and she has aggressive behavior. She's never did that with you, though, Monique. Then Monique mentions that Candiace is so combative, and the pastor says, all that is about Candiace. And he was basically trying to tell her, but that is a reflection of you. So you're sitting up there pointing the finger at her, but all of that is just a mere reflection of you. Once again, we talked about that in the shadow, okay? That's why I did that documentary for you guys, because I know what I'm talking about. I like how the pastor told Monique that she needs to be honest about what's going on in her heart. I love how he held her accountable, like more than Karen, more than her husband, more than anybody, honey. Okay. The pastor also tells Monique that these women in Potomac are not impressed with you, and it causes you disdain, and that's why it's frustrating for you to be around them. I agree. I go back to, when she first started on the show, she was saying all of that and bragging and stuff like that because she wanted to impress these women, and, some of them were just simply not impressed. Yes, Gizelle was a mean girl to her. And we've talked about that, but I also can see where, Monique, wanted to fit in with the ladies, wanted the ladies to be impressed by her. It also goes into her creating this business called Not for Lazy Moms. Okay, all of that plays into that. And I wish they would have talked about that, honey, but I guess the pastor didn't have that much time. Okay. Pastor also mentions that this is not Candiace's fault. I was like, okay, Pastor, okay. And Monique admits that, she had a lot, on her back. She's been going through a lot. I told y'all, and she said it was a lot of pressure building up inside of her, and it had nothing to do with Candiace. What did I tell y'all? Okay, I told y'all this fight had nothing to do with Candiace. She tried to make it look like that, okay? Monique finally admits that Candiace didn't deserve all of what she did to her. I agree. Hallelujah. 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 Finally. Okay. Then her husband, Chris, he ends up chiming in and saying, I need to reach out, to Candiace's husband, Chris. We've been boys for a while. I need to make sure they're doing okay. And Monique agrees, and she's like, I need to apologize to her. So I'm like, okay, it looked like this is moving in a better direction, honey, but that ain't where it really ends up. So we'll get to that next week, honey. But y'all get down in my comments, honey. Let me know how you felt about this episode, how you felt about my commentary. And let me know, do you feel like Monique is really learning a lesson through this process? Okay, do you feel like she's gonna finally come out of this situation and really get it and really take responsibility and accountability for her actions? Or do you think she's just playing, honey, for the cameras, honey? Okay, let me know, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out later.